name's Amara Steinkraus. This is my family's farm, and I'm kind of the general orchard manager. So I oversee production, I make all the cider, vinegars, all the value-added stuff. We make a lot of cider, which is a big thing that we're doing this week in prep for Apple Fest, but I also make apple sauce, apple butter, apple chips, and a bunch of apple cider vinegars, raw cider vinegar, like mixers and tonics. My mom and some other folks started the farm in the early 70s. When they bought it, it was a cow hay farm, so they planted all the trees with the intent to have like a U-pick. So we have a U-pick, we sell at the Ithaca Farmers Market. Coming in a second generation of farm, there's already some infrastructure set up. So we have things like coolers, and we have a cider press, and we have, the trees are very well established. I have literally gone to Apple Fest like every year that I've been alive because my mom helped to start the festival. And initially it was really started as a way to bring local farms and people downtown as a kind of harvest celebration, right? And it's really grown into this it's the biggest festival that happens in downtown Ithaca.
My first year here, I really didn't know what to expect when it came to Apple Harvest Festival. But then you go there and it is a massive event. I think somewhere between 30 and 40,000 people show up there over the course of a weekend. For farmers in the farming community, it really is like everyone's coming together and helping each other out, and we all have the same goal of making sure that everything is ready for everyone, and it's really kind of like the highlight of the year for us.
The 2 weeks leading up to Apple Fest are kind of like the busiest of the year. All of this week I press cider to be able to sell at the festival. In my mind, it's always kind of like a culmination of the harvest season.
So this is like the big rush this week. So we've got all hands on deck. We were down in the morning picking, and now I'm going to jug a couple 100 gallons of cider in the afternoon.
Yesterday I pressed 300 gallons of cider. Today I'll press probably 400 gallons of cider. So first step is washing.
And then you have to grade the apples to make sure that they're all healthy and ready to be pressed.
Then they go into the cider room and they get taken on a little elevator and ground up into like a pulp basically. And then the pulp, which is called pumice, gets pumped through a hose we have a rack and cloth press that's from like the 1950s, so it's a very old press. And so then it gets layered kind of in these blankets and then squished with a hydraulic press, and the fresh juice comes out, and then we pump it up and we hand bottle and hand label everything.
Because we're a small family-run business, we don't have machines that actually put the cider in the jugs. We just have a tray full of cider, and then we have siphons. So every single one of the half gallons that you can buy at Apple Fest, each one of them is hand-filled by someone like me. It's kind of a mix between technology and like old school agriculture.
A bushel is about 40 to 45 pounds of apples, and from one bushel, depending on the variety of apple and depending on the year, generally it's like 2 to 4 gallons, depending on variety. It's a kind of a pinnacle time for especially family farms because a lot of farms fail between the first and second generation. I think it's great exposure because people who've never had any experience with our farms or any local farms, there's a lot of local farms which is awesome. I think the outreach and the community building that way is awesome, and I think it's obviously financially a big impact for our whole fiscal year.
It's really kind of the community spirit, but it's really kind of a festive atmosphere even when you're working there, and it's just really wonderful.